Scott Morgan here, Michigan Sports Radio. Joining me is Coach Kaman. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Scott. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Hey, it's our last one, unfortunately, for the season. Let's get your thoughts on last Friday night against Cedar Springs.
Yeah, obviously Cedar Springs is a really good football team. We came out and I thought did some good things early. Had a chance to move the ball a little bit, end up punting the thing away. They go down and score, but I feel like our defense played a little bit better, making them earn those points. And then we got the ball back. At one point it was, I want to say 14-0. We stopped them on the first 2-point conversion, and we had them at 14-0. We ended up coming back, driving the field to score, and then we turned the ball over. So it would have been a huge momentum shift for us to be able to get that touchdown and make it 14-7, give ourselves a little bit more fight there. But the problem was we turned the thing over, they go down and score. Now that swings to 21-0, 22-0, and then you're got an uphill battle against a team that's able to run the ball pretty well. So tough night.
Definitely. Defensive, or, basically, what benefit did you see out of that game?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good things you can take out of that game. I mean, I think we haven't seen the wing tee a lot on our schedule. We've seen it with Unity Christian, and this is a little bit of a different flavor with how Cedar Springs runs it. But we did some different things, tried some different things out just to kind of take some more chances, especially on early downs. And our defense really did some good things. There were some situations where we got stops, forced them to punt the football, took some chances on early downs and able to kind of stop them for negative plays or almost no gain. And then that gives you a chance. Against a team like that, if they get to midfield and they're getting 3 or 4 yards of crack on fourth down, they're going to go for it.
They're going for it,
yeah. So you've got to do some things early on to kind of get them off schedule, so to speak. And I thought we did some things that were good. We just were a little inconsistent with it. But I definitely think there's some improvements there we can build on.
Talk a little bit about the senior group. They really good players for you.
Yeah, this group is a special group of kids. We've got a chunk of these kids that played 3 years of varsity football for us. As sophomores, they've kind of made their way and matured a lot right before our eyes. In terms of going from some scrawny kids that did a good job as sophomores, kind of a little wet behind the ears, but learning some things. But really have grown a ton. And I think overall just the leadership they provide, especially like up front with our offensive line where we had some young guys playing, they really stepped up and brought some of those young kids along. But overall, just fun to see their development and let them, lead our program and take us to kind of that next step. I think the development of our program and the things you see from top to bottom are a big testament to them and their work ethic and things they've done to help bring our program to the next level.
So now what? Season's done. What does Coach Kaman and his staff do from here until next May?
Yeah, there's a lot of evaluation kind of going on. We'll take some things and basically get some things ready in terms of evaluating our staff and those things, going through how things went, discussing those sorts of things. Then we will also sit down and start to evaluate some film and look at players and how things went, certain schemes. We do a lot of analysis of plays, whether it's offense or defense alignments and things, to get them all tagged and labeled, I guess you'd say, in our film system. And then we sort those by playlist, so we can easily sort those and look through them and print reports and get some tendencies and things that we had from the season. And then also just look at video, kind of what worked well, what didn't work well, what are some things we can take into next year and build on, that kind of thing. We'll also take some time and spend looking at JV film and freshman film and evaluating our lower level talent and some of their footwork and those things and look at where our work is there. And then we'll get back to it in the weight room. We got to get back to work as far as getting faster and stronger, and we'll do those things here in the next couple of weeks. So it all starts pretty fast.
You mentioned the JV team and the freshman team. Both teams had really good seasons. Some positive things out of them that you see.
Yeah, I think the first thing I'll speak to is just the depth in our program. I feel like we've got this thing at a point now where we have, the ability to have 3 teams, which not everyone in our league can do.
Right.
So having a freshman, a JV, and a varsity football team is really big because that means more kids are playing football and getting more experience, right? And there's nothing that you can do to replace game experience. So when those kids get a chance to play, even if like this year our JV team had 17 kids, I'm really proud of them for toughing it out and doing a good job the whole year. But those kids played a lot of football, which is good for them. We got a lot of snaps, and we have a lot to evaluate with them. But then our freshman group, obviously, that's a little bit bigger. There was maybe 23, 24 kids in that group, but they all got to play freshman football. We didn't have to move kids around just to make one team, so that was really nice.
That's good. 7th and 8th grade, what'd you see out of that? That was getting ready to come into the high school. The eighth grade will be coming in as freshmen.
Yeah, our current eighth graders right now, they only lost one football game. So they won, I think it was 5-1 or whatever that was. So I don't know if they played 6 games. I think that's right. So they were 5-1, I believe, and had a good year, some good talent there too. So just trying to evaluate some of that. I'll be meeting with our middle school coaches and going through and talking about some of those kids and their strengths and their weaknesses and starting to build kind of their player profile, if you will, just so we can start to align those pieces in the puzzle. We got to get kids in the right spot, and bottom line is that's our job as coaches to put as many kids in position to be successful as we can, and it starts with evaluating what they can do and what they can't do, and go from there.
Go from there. Wonderful. Like I said, I want to thank you for everything for this season, and I think, like I said, looking back at it, I think we have to look at it as a very positive season. 6-3 or 6-4 is a very good job, and like I say, we'll get ready for next season. Any final thoughts on that you'd like?
Yeah, I know. Just appreciate you and Steve and Sadie and everything you do to cover our football program. I know our community really appreciates that, and our parents and family members of our program really enjoy the weekly interviews with the kids, getting to know our players a little bit.
Players, yep.
So finally got Scott to take the advice from myself of interviewing the kids more than me, but but it's good. It's good to see those kids in that moment, let them talk about kind of what things they enjoy outside of football, and allows our community to get to know them a little bit, which I think is big. So I just appreciate everything you do for our program and covering games and promoting Bronco football. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, we will talk to you later in the season, towards January, winter time. We'll find out what's going on there, and then we'll hit you back up August again, won't we?
Yeah, it'll be here for you know it.
Here for know it. All right. Thanks, Coach, again, and appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Scott.